In the shade of an old oak tree where the wildflowers used to grow, I found a scrap of her faded scarf caught on the rough and knowing bark. Under skies too vast, too blue, I hear her laughter in the breeze, haunting the empty cabins, whispering through the sycamore leaves. Her laugh lingers in the prairie wind, dances on the dusty trails where we walk beneath the twilight. Now I wander here alone. Every sunset paints her memory across the vast unending skies, but her laughter's just a shadow in the silence of my cries. This old porch we used to know, it's wood, now gray and worn like me, echoes with the songs we sang, now just ghosts in the evening air. Time has swept her touch away like rain clears the dusty plains, and I'm left with these empty hands grasping memories that remain. Her laugh lingers in the prairie wind, dances on the dusty trails where we walk beneath the twilight. Now I wander here alone. Every sunset paints her memory across the vast unending skies, but her laughter's just a shadow in the silence of my cries. I dreamt I rode through storms of sand to find where our old lies, but woke upon the gravel roads with nothing but the starlit skies. And though this heart keeps looking back, her path is one I can't retrace. All that's left is the echo of her joy and the bittersweet refrain. Her laugh lingers in the prairie wind, dances on the dusty trails where we once found forever in the glance of a setting sun. Now the darkness folds around me like the closing of a door, and her laughter, once my compass, leaves me yearning evermore. Her laugh lingers, her laugh lingers as I ride these lands alone. Out where the oak trees shadow the old gravel way, I found your scarf, a remnant of red against the gray. Whispers of you in the wind's gentle sway, echoes of laughter where our young hearts used to play. Fading light echoes on this lonely rugged trail, every sunset a tale of love that's turned pale. Your voice drifts over the valleys, a soft wail. In the hush of the night, under stars I set my sail. We carved our names on the porch of that empty cabin, promises under the moon, but now all is worn thin. Years turn the wood to whispers of might have been, where once we danced, now only shadows spin. Fading light echoes on this lonely rugged trail, every sunset a tale of love that's turned pale. Your voice drifts over the valleys, a soft wail. In the hush of the night, under stars I set my sail. On the saddle I roam, with dust my crown. The reins come gentle, like your hand once came down. Each drop a memory in the folds of this gown. A cowboy's heart in the echo forever bound. Fading light echoes, and I'm riding alone through whispering pines and over stones. Maybe this trail is all I'll ever own. Memories and echoes in the bones of my tone. Fading light echoes, love's last known home.
Down by old Sycamore Creek, where the waters whisper low, I found her wildflower scarf beneath the sunset's amber glow. We carved our names in the oak, where the soft winds dared to roam. In that hallowed hidden grove, where I once called her my own. But the creek waits like it knows my sins, underneath that fading sky, where her memory begins. In the oak tree, with our names worn thin, holds the tales of yesteryears and the love I couldn't win. Time has worn the wooden porch, where we danced in gentle rain. Now the cabin's empty halls play a silent, sorrowed strain. The gravel road that led her back to a life beyond the ridge turned our summer's golden tracks into winter's lonely bridge. Yes, the creek waits with its mournful hymn, echoing through whispering leaves, where our world was bright and now dim. And that oak tree, standing stark and grim, marks the dreams we left behind on the rim of time's own. Twilight haze, adrift in my own fears. Each sunset spills the same old hues, the reds and pinks of loss. As I reckon with the truth, all love comes with its cost. So the creek waits, and I'm standing still, with the shadows growing long and the night air crisp and chill. Yes, the creek knows, it always will. That part of me stayed behind in the heart I can refill. And as the stars light up the hill, I whisper to the wind, guess some hearts are meant to spill. I found a scarf you wore, now frayed by time and hope. These rustling leaves converse, where shadows merge and cope, with whispers of your laugh on that old gravel slope. The rain hides my tears, just like it hides the past. Each drop a memory in storms that seem to last. This heart, like empty cabins, worn and overcast, echoes with the silence of the love that couldn't last. The porch still creaks the same under a sky so vast, where we once watched the stars, a quiet love amassed. Now trails fade in the fields where our dreams were cast. The dusk settles alone as day slips into the past. The rain hides my tears, just like it hides the past. Each drop a memory in storms that seem to last. This heart, like empty cabins, worn and overcast, echoes with the silence of the love that couldn't last. Oh, the winding roads, the dust kicked by my boots, a saddle worn with miles, tracing back to roots. Yet in each setting sun, my resolved heart disputes the notion I'll forget the love that once was absolute. So let the rain hide my tears, let it wash the lonely miles, as the night claims the sun and the darkness reconciles. Yet still your echo lingers across the time and trials, in the rain under the oaks, down the old forgotten aisles. Out by the creek, under a sky so wide, where the oak trees whisper to the starlit ride, I found your scarf, a fragment in the wind, red as the sunset, where our love began. Love waits in the shadow of the old swing, and every dust-kicked trail and the songs we sing. Rust on the saddle, rains on the plain. Love waits, but it's never quite the same. Rode past the cabin where we once lay low. Now it's just the bones where the cold winds blow. Gravel roads where your laughter filled the air. Now just a silence that I can't bear. Love waits in the shadow of the old porch swing, and every dust-kicked trail and the songs we'd sing. Rust on the saddle, rains on the plain. making my heartache sing, by stars that watched us dream once across these fields so green. Time's a relentless rider, it never heeds a plea, yet in its ruthless travel brings your memory back to me. Love waits in the silence of the fading trails, in the echoes of a song that the nightingale wails. Dust settles slow as my heart learns to roam. Love waits forever, in this heart you're home. Out where the oak tree shadows weave, along the creek where I told you to leave. The gravel cracked on your boots so worn, there in the dusk of that early morn. Your scarf had danced a farewell in the breeze, left me alone with my memories. Lost trail remembers the echo of your laughter. Sunset bleeds like it knows what I'm after. Dust settles where your shadow fell. These winding paths, they sure feel like hell. Every stone, every thorn's an old friend on this lonely ride that never seems to end. The porch still creaks, but it's empty now. The door swings loose with a solemn vow. Rain taps on the windows, a sad old tune, under the watch of a cold silver moon. The saddle hangs untouched, it's true, just like the heart you broke into. Lost trail remembers the echo of your laughter. Sunset bleeds like it knows what I'm after. Dust settles where your shadow fell. These winding paths, they sure feel like hell. Every stone, every thorn's an old friend on this lonely ride that never seems to end. What's left of love when the fire burns out? Just ash gray skies and a heart full of drought. But that old pine box where dreams lay to rest keeps you alive, pounding deep in my chest. Lost trail remembers, I would never forget the laughs, the tears, and those sunset regrets. I walk these roads beneath stars overhead, with you my ghost and the words never said. Every step, every sigh's a desperate plea on this lonely trail where you're still with me. Out where the creek bends under the shade of old leaves, we carved our names in that oak tree, whispering dreams. The wind sang through the branches, a melody so sweet on that weathered old porch where our hearts would meet. But now that oak tree is the last one standing tall. My shadow's the only one that dances at nightfall. Every leaf that falls is a memory, a moment lost in time, under the oak tree left behind, under the twilight side. Years roll like the tumbleweeds across these plains. Your scarf still hangs on the corner of my worn-out frame. The cabin's empty, echoes with the laughter we once knew. Gravel roads keep leading back, but they don't lead to you. Yes, that oak tree's the last one standing tall. My shadow's the only one that sways when cold winds call. Each whisper leaf a tale of yesterday, confined beneath the oak tree left behind, beneath the dreams denied. Oh, how the sunsets bleed their colors, trying to repaint all our yesterdays, but some hues they just fade. And as the stars peek from the vast, forgiving sky, the night knows the truth, that some loves never die. So here stands the oak tree, the only witness to my plight, holding on to each memory as I ride through the night. And maybe all that's left is the echo of your smile entwined with the whispers of the oak tree left behind. Yes, the heartache of the oak tree left behind. By the oak tree we swore forever, under skies so white and blue. Your scarf in the breeze like a promise, a dance of red against the hue. In a town where dreams whisper gently, on old porches our love knew. But the road called like a lonesome freight train, and my heart, it just withdrew. This hat hides my eyes, shadow deep with old regret. The sunset stained their colors on memories I can't forget. Empty cabins by the roadside, where our whispers still collide. In the silence of these plains, it's your voice that's my guide. Now the gravel roads stretch out like tendrils, reaching places where shadows lay. And the dust kicks up with my sorrows, paving trails of ash and gray. Where the laughter echoed softly, now only echoes of your sway. By the creek bed under starlit heavens, I lost you along the way. This hat hides my eyes, shadow deep with old regret. The sunsets paint their sorrows on a love I can't reset. Empty cabins, doors still creaking, with our tales there intertwined. In the whispers of the wind, it's your touch I find. The saddle's worn, the leather cracked, just like the lines around my eyes. Each wrinkle a story, a path not taken of these endless aching skies. I wonder if the rain remembers the taste of tears I've cried for you. A downpour on this heartland, each drop of memory passing through. This hat hides my eye, shadowed deep with old regret. The sunsets bleed their aching light on a past that haunts me yet. In every dusty mirror, your absence fiercely clings. But in the quiet of this wandering life, I still hear you sing. Oh, in the hollows of my heart, your love, a ghostly lingering sting.
In the gray dawn's light, 'neath the old oak shade, I found the scarf you wore, now ghostly gray. It whispered of that spring by the creek we lay, where promises were caught in the cold morning May. Oh, how the winds they've changed since you went away. No more do those oaks sway where we once did lay. Cold morning carved in my heart, your name stays echoing through these hills. In the silence of my days, I walk these dusty trails with your memory in tow, past the cabin's empty shell where the wild roses grow. Gravel roads stretch like the regrets I've come to own, leading to nowhere but the echoes of our lone shadow. Oh, how the winds they've changed since you went away. No more do those oaks sway where we once did lay. Cold morning carved in my heart, your name stays echoing through these hills. In the silence of my days, saddles worn and leather cracked just like my weathered skin. Each line a story, a loss of the love I couldn't win. On this old porch I sit as the sun dips to give in. Night's blanket comes to cover all my sins. Oh, how the winds they whisper of what might have been. Softly they mourn with me for a love so serene. Cold morning carved in my soul, where your warmth has been. I'm left holding memories in the silence of this dream. And as the stars look down, I'm a shadow fading thin in a world that keeps turning without you.
cross the rivers, climb the rise, watch red dust paint the evening skies. My boots wore thin from years gone by, chasing dreams I couldn't tie. The canyon winds all knew my name, so did the storm, so did the flame. I rode with ghosts, I rode alone. My only home was what I owned. But she was the sunset I found, burning gold where the hills fell down. She stood like peace in a world untrue, with eyes like dusk and a voice like dew. I'd seen the world from town to town, but nothing shook me, nothing profound, till she looked up without a sound. She was the sunset I finally found. She had a garden by her door, and boots too clean for riding wool. Said she baked her bread by hand and read old books she didn't plan. I tipped my hat and barely spoke. She laughed and handed me her cloak. Said, cowboy, rest your saddle bones. Even legends need a home. She was the sunset I found, a fire that warmed my worn-out crown. I'd seen the stars, I'd kissed the wind, but never knew where love had been. She pulled me close without a rope. No tricks, no games, no lines, no hope. Just her and me and common ground. She was a sunset I found. I didn't ride to find a flame, but somehow she called out my name. And every mile I rode before led me straight to her front door. She was the sunset I found in a world of noise. She made no sound, just stood there like the end of day, soft and fierce in a honeyed way. And if this road should call me gone, I'll take her light and ride on strong. But I'll always turn my heart around, back to the sunset that I found. In the shade of an old oak tree where the wildflowers used to smile at me, we carved our names, young and free, on that bark where no one else could see. The sun did blow through leaves that spilled on a dusty road to a dream we'd build. Your scarf had danced on the southern breeze while we swore our love neath the whispering leaves. But now the oak tree stands so still in the silent grasp of the cold hills. Well, your scarf's gone with the winds that chill, and I'm just a shadow, lonesome and still. Years rolled by like thundering trains. Love, sweet summer turned to autumn rains. That old porch swing, it sways alone, singing creeks in a tune of its own. The cabin's empty, the fire's died down, gravel roads lost beneath weeds overgrown. Where once your laughter filled the air, now just echoes of despair. But still the oak tree stands so still, guarding old dreams that the night can't kill. Your scarf's lost in a past that chills, and I'm just a shadow, the quiet look of a fading smile. But every sunset that paints the sky is just another goodbye. Yes, the oak tree stands profoundly still under heavens that time can't fill. Your scarf of memory faded and frilled, and I'm forever a cowboy, lonesome but will ride these trails quiet and shrill, where the oak tree stood and stands still. Shadow of the oak tree's ancient arms, where the wildflowers whisper to the dawn. I saw her last, where the river kissed the farm, her smile a fleeting summer's sweetest charm. But her eyes like dusk, chasing day, shut the door on our love, turned my sky to gray. Her eyes shut the door, left a silence in the wind, echoes of footsteps where our dreams had been. The porch lights faded, no more shadows cast. Her eyes shut the door on the future, on the past. The saddles gathered dust, the cabin's cold and bare. Gravel roads, wind lead me to nowhere. Each sunset bleeds into a lonesome hue. The trails we walked are fading, just like the truth. In the town where laughter danced in her voice, now stands a quiet, hollow, forgotten choice. Her eyes shut the door, left a silence in the wind, echoes of footsteps where our dreams had been. The porch lights faded, no more shadows cast. Her eyes shut the door on the future, on the past. Now the rain speaks soft on the old tin roof, a symphony for ghosts, a bitter truth. A scarf she left still smells like pine, a token of love lost, not left behind. Her eyes shut the door and the night steals in. I'm a shadow in the dust, I might have been, as the stars look down with indifferent light. Her eyes shut the door, but my heart holds tight. Her eyes shut the door, I'm lost yet roam. Her eyes shut the door on this heart, her home. In the gray dawn by the old creek bed, a cold morning, listen to the words we said. Your laughter mingled with the rustling oaks. My heart was yours beneath woolen cloaks. We carved our names on the tavern door in that quiet town where the eagles soar.
Now the wind whispers through empty halls, an echo of steps that once graced these walls. The dust settles where your laughter rang, and I'm just a shadow in the cold morning's fang. My scarf still holds the scent of rain, and my soul keeps riding, bound by your chain. Seasons turn like the pages of a book. Our oak tree fell, no more sheltered nook. That old porch we swore would never age now creaks alone under time's heavy gauge. Gravel roads where we once stand still late lead to nowhere, sealed by fate's own gate. Now the wind whispers through empty halls, an echo of steps that once graced these walls. The dust settles where your laughter rang, and I'm just a shadow in the cold morning's fang. My saddle's worn from roads long traveled. Every sunset, a memory unraveled. By the fading trail I pause and look behind, searching for what I'll never find. The whispering pines and the settling dew tell tales of a love that once I knew. So the wind whispers through empty halls, an echo of dreams that dusk recalls. The dust settles where your laughter rang, and I'm just a shadow in the cold morning's fang. I'll ride on with a heart torn in two. Cold morning, listen, and it knew our truth.
In the shadow of the weeping oaks on Carson's Bend, I found an old scarf blue as the dusk whispering your name. There by the creek where first you kissed my sunburned skin, now just a ghost of summer rains and love that never waned. Lonely fire hides in the ashes of our past, burning remnants of a dream too sweet to last. Under starlit skies, my heart still tries to find you in the smoke of lonely firesides. The town's grown silent, porches empty, dust has settled down. Gravel roads that knew our steps now lead to nowhere's end. And I ride these empty trails with your memory as my guide, aching for the echo of a love that's long been dead. Lonely fire hides in the ashes of our past, burning remnants of a dream too sweet to last. As the sunset bleeds, my lonesome creed is whispered to the wind on plains no one else can see. Oh, and how the rivers run, never looking back, carving canyons deep as the regrets I've tracked. If I could hold you once again, break these rusted chains, I'd give these Roman bones to hear you call my name. Lonely fire hides is the keeper of my cries, in every crackling spark your laughter never dies. But tonight, as the cold encroaches wide, I'll let the river's song lull this heartache into the night. Goodbye, my love, where a lonely fire hides.
Down where the river bends under the sign oaks, we etched our names in the bark beneath heaven's wide cloak. Your laugh was a melody danced on the summer air. In that old dusty town we hadn't a single care. The porch light flickered soft as the day kissed the dark. That's where my heart lives still, where the river bend fell apart. Of the lovers they used to know. Under those starlit skies, my lonely soul does start to wander back to you, where the river bend fell apart. Seasons turned the pages, the oaks began to moan. Your scarf caught on the wind, soon I was all alone. Trails we walked turned faint, cabins fell to decay. Gravel roads lead nowhere since you've gone away. Saddles gathered dust like the echoes in my heart, left yearning for the days before the river bend fell apart. Oh, how the river flows under the moon's quiet gaze, whispering of old sorrows and the price that love pays. My soul's caught in the drift, tethered to a broken cart, always riding back to where the river bend fell apart. In the twilight's embrace, I feel your gentle touch fade. Just a ghost in the breeze, another memory's shade. A lone tear mingles with rain on my weathered cheek, it starts another storm I weather since the river bend fell apart. So let the river run wild, let it carry my cries apart, through whispering winds, over lands vast and stark. And if you're listening still in the quiet of your heart, meet me at the dusk where our river bend fell apart. Just two shadows merge as the day turns to dark, silhouettes of a love by the river that fell apart.
Under the morning sky, my boots stirred the dust of old, where the oak tree shadows fell on and secrets softly told. I once carved hearts in that bark where the wild rivers bend, her laughter tangled in the breeze, a melody without end. Oh, the morning sky called my name, and whispers of the past wrapped in sorrow's frame. Every sunset bleeds like the scarf she'd wear, gone like smoke in the wild open air. creeping vines of time. Gravel roads lead to nowhere, to the echoes of the chime. That old porch still groans under the weight of ghostly feet, dancing shadows, faded trails, where our hearts would meet. Oh, the morning sky called my name in whispers of the past, wrapped in sorrow's frame. Every sunset bleeds like the scarf she'd wear, gone like smoke in the wild open air. By the riverside the stones hold the warmth of sun's gone by. I touch the earth, feel her pulse beneath the expanse of sky. A part of me lies buried in lands where we once roamed, forever wandering the plains I called home. Oh, the morning sky calls again as I tread this lonesome game, each step away from yesteryears where she called my name in the quiet of the night, under stars cold and bare. Her memory rides beside me, a silent prayer. Shadows creep along the creek where willows weep. There's a stone where the cold wind moans. In the town that the world forgot, we carved our names, young lovers claim. Under the skies where my heart lies, with the promise of sunrise painted on your smile. But the grave said nothing, just echoed my cries as the wind played sad on the old porch chimes. Your scarf still holds the scent of rain, and my heart rides alone on a lonesome plain. Turn, the wildfires burn, and I rode past our fading trails where laughter hung the rafters high. Now empty cabins lost to time, the saddles worn, my spirits torn, on gravel roads where silence buds, and the sunset bleeds into the corners of my mind. The grave said nothing, just echoed my cries as the wind swept dust where the old dog lies. Your scarf still holds the scent of rain, and my heart rides alone, forever stained. Secrets that we once knew. In the hush of twilight's embrace, I find the faintest trace of you. And the grave said nothing, won't tell me why. Every goodbye echoed under that twilight sky. Your scar
the shadow of an old oak's reach, where the creek sings lullabies, lies a cabin worn and weathered under vast unending skies. There's a bed inside that cabin with a linen smell of sage, and a scarf you left behind, my love, now yellowed with age. The empty bed said nothing, but I heard it loud and clear. Every whisper of the fabric spoke of you no longer here. The windows hold the sunset, the porch creaks with my sighs. This empty bed says nothing, but it's screaming in my eyes. The trail's gone cold and dusty, like the memories in my mind. Gravel roads we roamed are fading, left so many miles behind. The town seems just too quiet now, like it knows you're gone for good. And the saddle where you sat by me is just worn out leather and wood. The empty bed said nothing, but I heard it loud and clear. Every whisper of the fabric spoke of you no longer here. The windows frame the twilight, the door sways with my cries. This empty bed says nothing, but it's screaming in my eyes. Now the rain taps on the rooftop like your fingers drumming time, and I wonder if the storm clouds know what's forever left behind. By the hearth I sit in silence, the flames flicker out your name. In this house of broken whispers, life's never quite the same. The empty bed said nothing, but I felt its cold embrace. Each night's a haunting melody of your absent grace. The moonlight steals through curtains, painting shadows we once knew. This empty bed says nothing, still I'm speaking back to you.
In the sleepy shade of the old oak tree, where the wildflowers whispered and waited for thee, we carved our names enshrined in bark underneath the sky till the world turned dark. That old porch swing where we danced with the wind, a waltz of whispers where my dreams had grinned. Shattered glass drifts on a gravel road, each piece of memory a story told. The sunset bleeds through the clouds so vast, and I'm holding shadows where the light won't last. Oh, how the silence it weeps and laughs in the echo of your voice and shattered glass. The days on dusty trails, now just faded tracks beneath my nails. That cabin stands solemn and alone, its empty halls play our love's last tone. Your scarf still lies on the cedar chest, a splash of color for a heart unrest. On a gravel road, each piece of memory a story told. taps gently on windowsills past, mocking each promise that didn't last. Oh, how the silence it weeps and laughs in the echo of your touch and shattered glass. The wind carries whispers of what could have been through the rustling leaves or the rolling din. And I see your reflection in streams running clear in each fleeting shadow. I feel you near. Shattered glass drifts and I follow its trail, a mosaic of dreams, love's point veil. Every shard of tale under twilight's expanse. In the dance of the dust I give one last glance. Oh, how the silence it weeps and laughs, forever lost in this sea of shattered glass. This ballad captures the melancholy and poignant beauty of love lost, where every physical element around recounts a part of the narrative, adding layers to the emotional landscape of the song. In the town of Broken Spur, under a bleeding sky, there stood an oak, its limbs like prayers stretching wide. That's where we carved our names, in the heart of the bark, where his shadow fell apart as day slipped into dark. Oh, the winds, they whisper secrets through the rustling leaves. His scarf still smells like dust and dreams, woven with grief. Every sunset paints his face on the clouds, torn and stark. In the silence of the old porch, where his shadow fell apart. Years rolled like tumbleweeds past the empty cabin's call. Gravel roads hold echoes of his footsteps, that's all. The saddle sits untouched, the reins lay soft and slack. Memories fade like trails, they don't lead them back. Oh, the winds, they whisper secrets through the rustling leaves. His scarf still smells like dust and dreams, woven with grief. Every sunset paints his face on the clouds, torn and stark. In the silence of the old porch, where his shadow fell apart. Speaks in rhythms on the dusty window pane, telling tales of the cowboy who won't ride through again. In the heart of every storm, amidst the thunder's art, lies the shattered piece of a lonesome, wayward heart. So let the wind carry away the whispers through the rustling leaves. His scarf still tangled in my fingers with dust and shattered dreams. Each sunset a reminder of love's enduring mark on the silence of the old porch, where his shadow fell apart. In the whisper of the leaves, where his shadow fell apart.